to talk to you about managing business failure, or the risk of customer failure. It's our second year as one of the headline sponsors of this event. We really believe in the SME market. You guys are the growth engines of our economy. We realize that you face some specific difficulties, and I'll talk a little bit about that. And I think it's just a great way to create employment in the country and get rid of some of the inequalities in our society. So I really commend you listening to the previous panel discussion. I see you don't only roll up your sleeves, you take off your shoes as well. I'm not quite sure. But listening to the previous panel discussion, you can see that the challenges that you face are somewhat unique, where big corporates and big departments to do these things. Now, I'm not sure how to advance the slide, but here we go. Yeah, so maybe just talking about the subject matter, which is what happens if a customer fails and you don't get paid. And I've listed on the left-hand side the kind of the usual suspects. So business gets into trouble. The most common reason that we see is this one which we call protracted default, but what it really means is that your customer, you supply the customer, goods are to the required spec, there's no argument or dispute between you, and he just doesn't pay. Doesn't return calls, can't pay, won't pay, who knows, you just don't get paid. So that's a very common issue out there, and the arrows are meant to say whether the risk's the same or increasing or decreasing. Insolvencies, businesses suddenly go into liquidation. Strangely enough, we've seen a decline in the number of insolvencies. People don't really like to file for insolvency because I think there's a bit of a stigma attached to it. You know, you get declared bankrupt, etc., etc. But business rescue, which has been around for about 5 years now, is a mechanism where companies can vote themselves into a business rescue process, and as part of that, they are shielded from their creditors, including you, for a period of time while they try to rescue the business. So this is something which we see more and more of, and it places you potentially in a tricky situation if your customer that owes you a large amount of money suddenly goes into DR. And then on political risks, you're supplying goods overseas, so you're an exporter. There's a whole lot of things that can go wrong that the overseas government might do to frustrate either your supply of the goods or to frustrate you receiving payment. And there's a whole long list of these, but the one we see most often is an inability of your customer to remit dollars to you because there's just no dollars in the country.